Hi Nick, it's Dan here from the Purple Golf Academy. Apologies, it's taken me a while to get your analysis over to you, but I've been having a look at your swing that we got from the weekend at Neffin here on the left, and I've been having a look compared to the previous swing I've got of yours from way back earlier in the year, and there's a good noticeable improvement there, Nick. So it's encouraging stuff. So I'm just going to start by just reminding ourselves of what we were looking at last time in your swing. And I remember we were saying that the setup's quite weak, it wasn't strong enough, not athletic enough, and the swing itself was just, very much an arm-oriented swing, which was lacking power, and you can see the body doesn't really release in the swing at all in the old swing. So now taking a look at what we've managed to achieve in the most recent swing, much more athletic looking setup position there, which is good. Better turn in the upper body and better arm position at the top there, and certainly into the ball there, much better use of the right side through the ball there. So definitely getting much more athletic into the ball, which is good improvement there. You can see that right side really moving now into the ball, which is excellent. So good improvement. Still that follow through looking a little bit peculiar with the left arm there. So the arm and the body not quite working together as well as we would like. So let's take this back to address here and just show you in a bit more detail where I think we can improve still further. So just taking a look at this this new setup position, and you've done a good job, as I say, Nick, of getting good angles into your posture now, where before it was very straight-legged. You've got good knee flex in there now, which is excellent. What I would like to see is, actually I'd like to see this spine a little bit more tilted forward. I might just bring in Matteo Manacero. He's got a great swing, this young Italian lad, and it's a good model for us to look at. And posture is one of his strengths. And just show you how he looks over the ball compared to how you look. So you can see here his spine is much more forward than yours. Yours is a little bit too straight up in the air here. Admittedly you're hitting a wood and he's hitting an iron, but also, and you can see here your arms and the club form sort of more or less a straight line, whereas with Manacero here, because his spine is more forward, his hands look a little bit lower, and there's more of a distinct angle here between arms and club shaft. And that's something I'd like to see with you, because when you take the club away, Nick, you'll see that it's very much kind of a hands-oriented action. It looks a little bit like you're lifting the club off the ball there a little bit. So it means that the hands still aren't quite setting as well as we would like in the backswing. So kind of the hands are a little bit high and then they fold under. So that right arm there is not in a strong enough position at the top of the backswing. So what I'd like to see at address, I'd like to see the knees back just a fraction, and the backside will move back as well. And I want to get this spine a little bit more leaning forwards here, so a bit more like our friend Manacero here. You can see just how much he looks like he's over the ball there. He's nicely up onto the balls of his feet, good leg flex, backside behind him, but very much a forward tilt there in his spine. And what that does is get his weight nicely onto the balls of his feet here. It gets his centre of gravity nice and low, so he can really use the ground and use his legs in his swing and make a nice powerful athletic turn. With you here, just the feeling is a little bit too chest up in the upper body still, Nick. So that means you're a bit too light on your feet, so it's going to be more difficult for you to use your legs as powerfully as we'd like in the swing. So knees back away from the ball just a little bit, backside back a little bit, and then the spine much more forward, so you almost want to feel like you're leaning right forward with your upper body and your head's kind of out over the ball more, looking down on the ball. And that should hopefully then, if you get your spine forward, and then you can get your arms will hang nicely from your shoulders there, and you'll get more of an angle between the club shaft and the arms there, which will allow the arms to set a little bit better. So that's the setup side of things for you, Nick. And in this takeaway, you get the club nicely on plane, but I feel like it's being lifted into position with the hands rather than turning with the body. If you look at the waist there and the hips, it takes a while before we see any of your left leg coming into shot, and really there your hips haven't really turned at all. And if I just mark the top of your head at address here, you'll see that your head actually goes up as you make your takeaway. So that means you're not maximising your wind into the ground, it's kind of lifting the club up with the arms and standing up. So what I'd like to see is that slight adjustment to the address as we've already mentioned, and then as you take the club away, I'd like you to feel that you maintain the sort of triangle with the arms and the club, and rather than take it away with the hands, I'd like you to feel like you turn off the ball with your belt buckle and your chest. So that first move is more oriented by the body than it is by the arms, and the arms will just come along for the ride. So at the moment, you're lifting that club off the ball a little bit with the arms, which means it's not going to be as powerful. So what I'd like you to do is initiate that backswing with the chest and the hips. So turn off the ball with the body and let the arms come along for the ride. And what you'll find then at the top is that the right arm, rather than being sort of bent in behind you here, will be a little bit straighter and a bit more out in front of you, so that your arms are in front of that body, so when you turn back down it'll be a bit more powerful with the arms. That's actually a very good first move that you're making there, Nick. You're compressing down nicely, the head's dropping nicely, which shows you're using your legs as well as possible there. It's a good move with the legs as well. You're moving into your left side and that club drops down quite nicely. So there's some good things going on there, but we just need to increase that leverage in the arms, in the wrists really, coming into impact a little bit better. So plenty of scope to really increase your power and distance, Nick, and make you a much better ball striker. Now the other thing that I would just highlight with you, Nick, as well, is that you look as though your shoulders look a little bit open. If you look where your toe line is there, and where I guess the centre of the fairway, we're looking somewhere in around this direction. Your shoulders are a bit open there, and it also looks like your hips are a little bit open, and that's going to make it difficult for you to make that good strong body turn off the ball, because those joints are aiming left. It kind of blocks the turn a little bit, it restricts the turn. So what I'd like to see with you is that you want to feel like your hips and shoulders are actually going to aim to the right of the target at address. So if you're aiming here, you want to feel like your shoulders and hips are actually going to aim to the right, and that's really going to help you turn nice and strongly off the ball with the body. Now just let me show you what our friend Manacero does off the ball, and that'll just give you an idea of how the body can work. Now if you keep an eye on his sort of belt buckle and his chest there, you'll see in the first part of his backswing there, the feeling is very much that the body is taking that club away, not the arms. The arms just feel like they're coming along for the ride there with the body. And that allows his right arm to stay much more in front of his body at the top of his backswing, which will be a much more powerful position for his downswing. And if I bring you in here, Nick, let's take you up to the top of the swing and compare here. You'll see your right arm is much more... Your right arm's folded much more behind the body here, and your wrists you can see are way out behind the body. Whereas at Manacero, his left arm, in fact, you can almost say your left arm plane there is almost too flat, whereas Manacero's is kind of matching up to his shoulder plane. So that's all a product of the setup and the takeaway. So if we can just work on those a little bit more, Nick, we'll be in excellent shape to really start to increase that distance. So one of the big things is about this this arm position at address. When the arms and the club form that sort of straight line there, it makes it difficult for the wrists to really set. They can get a little bit locked out. So again, knees back a little bit away from the ball, so you want your knees kind of above the balls of your feet at address. And then let's really try and get that upper body nicely bent forward, which will allow your hands to feel like they're a little bit lower at address, so there's more of an angle between the arms and the club shaft there. And again, as I say, just make sure your joints are aiming a little bit to the right of the target, your shoulders and your hip joints, just because that will allow your hips and shoulders to really turn nice and freely in the backswing and make it a more powerful backswing. And just allied to that point again, just feel like your backswing is initiated with the turn of the hips and the turn of the chest, rather than a lift of the arms. Just let the arms sit on the chest and feel that they turn away naturally with the body. And that'll help you create that width in the backswing and that little bit stronger turn, which will make your shots a little bit more powerful, Nick. So I hope that all makes sense. Again, as I say, excellent improvement in the body action in the downswing here. The way the legs are responding there as you start down is a good improvement, and definitely that right foot where you're getting off your right heel there in the through swing is a good improvement, and that shows that your body's working much better. So if you just keep working on that setup and that takeaway as we've outlined today, you'll continue to make good strides, and I think you'll find your ball striking will really improve, and you'll really start to pick up some extra yardage as well, which is great. So I hope that all makes sense, Nick. If there's any questions, drop me a line at my email, which is dan@purplegolf.com. And if I can help you with any more lessons, Nick, then please send me some more swings, because I'd love to help you improve this action further. So good luck with that, and look forward to seeing some more swings from you soon, Nick.